Hey guys, welcome back. This is my retro episode where I go back and kind of look at the first skill I ever got a 99 in, which is runecrafting. Part of this skill is having this wicked legs. It's equipment that helps reduce your weight, so when you're running around you don't run out of energy and have to walk. Running energy seems to last a little bit more than it used to back in the old days, but it still does make a difference as far as what you're doing. So you can see right now my items weigh 15 kilograms, but as I start wearing my outfit, it will actually reduce how much I am carrying. So that helps a lot. So it's negative 10. And the first step for doing runecrafting is to get your rune essence. So um, back in the day when rune essence was a little bit more expensive and there were lots of bots, this actual area you would have bot characters running back and forth all this direction. I mean, it was a constant stream. Now you don't see pretty much anyone because they done a little bit better job of getting rid of the bots. And you just talk to this guy, tell him you want to teleport, and he takes you to an area that makes a lot of loud noises apparently. So let me try turning down my Runescape noise just a little bit. 1 second. There we go. Sorry about that. So you just go mine rune essence. You can do this at the lowest level pick. It's not very good experience. Get 5 experience per, and you would just basically run back and forth. So you sit here, wait till this fills up, and then you enter this portal. And I'll go ahead and get a full load, even though I really don't need rune essence anymore. So once I get full, then I can run to this portal. And then just click on the bank and I put it all back. So you just run a bank, dump it off. I think now the bank even has a lot easier methods. That's all one-click banking. Used to you had to right-click or talk to the person every time, but now pretty much it's one click for everything. So just imagine doing that back and forth thousands of times to get enough rune essence. And that's the first step. So this is actual creating of runes. So it's pretty straightforward. The simplest method is just to take runes or the essence by themselves and go and turn them in to make them into things. But you also have these pouches which allow you to carry more essence than you would normally. So I think I've already have essence in most of these, so we'll see. We'll examine them and see if they got. And it doesn't say if it's got in here, so we'll withdraw and see if any of these need to be filled. Yep, I must not have filled them last time I used. So you sit here and fill the pouches. And this allows you to, I think I've already filled that one, but nope. It allows you to carry more essence at once, but also the pouches degrade over time. So it's kind of a dual thing. Sometimes if I'm doing stuff, I don't even bother. If I'm just doing something simple, just need a couple hundred, sometimes it's kind of a pain in the rear to do. And if it's not a very far run, it's almost seems hardly worth it. But this one's not too bad. The Wicked Hood actually works as a talisman for all the types of elemental talismans and stuff that you can have. So you just have to feed one to it in order for it to work. So you'll see I get more than one per I think the default's actually empty. More than one of these per, and so you just click and you just empty, empty, empty. And once you're done, you just run back and do it again. So I mean, it's pretty, I guess pretty much boring is a good word for it. I think it's faster to take the lodestone network back. But you get kind of in a rhythm of doing it. You go back and forth, back and forth. I think for the Livage farms I did thousands, but I actually spent a little bit of energy because you can actually cast a spell off the spell book that uses astrals, the lunar spell book, that makes you show up just right outside of town, and so it's generally considered a good idea to do that. And then let's go ahead and fill these up. I will show you the other thing I usually do. So usually the those I don't make runes unless I have a use for them for the most part. So the runes I tend to use the most is nature runes for various spells. The alch spell, the high alchemy spell requires it, and also the superheat item, which converts. I use it every day to convert like ingots into or ore into ingots. Um, they need both spells need nature runes, so I kind of do that. So let's activate this, and what this does, it shows you all the ones you have fed to the Wicked Hood, so you can go to these distant places, but you can also teleport 3 times a day to any of them instead of having to walk there. So it saves a whole lot of time when you're just wanting to do a little bit of crafting, and so I'll try to remember to use my Wicked Hood every day just to get the free trips to use the nature runes, or to make the nature runes. So it makes it a little bit easier to do, and the bigger benefit is if you go in here you can remove essence also, and so it removes them 22 at a time, and just this one trip you'll see I'm going to get quite a few nature runes just from this one trip. So, but as far as experience goes, you'll see, I mean, I've getting an experience bonus, but I mean, it's not a real high experience skill. It's very, very grindy. Back in the day, you would see people running runes here too, because nature runes usually had a pretty good retail price for selling, and so people that had a high skill in rune crafting would actually just stand here, and other people would run the essence to them and give them the essence in exchange for the nature runes. So because you see I get 2 nature runes per essence because I've got a higher skill, people with a lower skill would rather have the money for selling the nature runes than the little bit of experience you got. And then sometimes, you know, if they were really low level, they may not even be able to cast to get the nature runes made at all, let alone get double. So there was special servers where people would get on. There would be people here competing, you know, trying to get people to trade with them instead. And so you would stand here with noted. Sometimes people would trade noted essence for regular essence, but most of the time it was just you would give them the nature runes in exchange for their essence, and you know, you'd stand here and just keep on crafting. And that was the way you did it, unfortunately, and it was really grindy and really boring, and it lasted forever. But the rune crafting 99 level 99s were very rare because of the amount of time it took. But you also, you know, if you actually made all the runes yourself, you could make a whole lot of money selling those runes. But it really was almost too grindy. And so a few years ago they came out with a mini game called Runespan, where you basically can play a mini game to get rune crafting points, but you don't get any actual runes because all of those stayed in the mini game. And so out of habit, I always would go here and teleport and mine my essence to replace the ones I'd used, but it's really not very useful anymore because of I mean, you saw how many rune essence I've got. They've gotten to where they've got monsters that drop tons of rune essence, so you get, you can get thousands and thousands during a hour or so of trying to kill that mod. And then you'd also with the daily task system sometimes would get rune essence as your reward. So if you're doing a task that you spent $100,000 on, or 100,000 gold, and they give you 100,000 gold worth of rune essence, I mean, these things, it's not very expensive. I'm thinking they're like 20 or 30, 19 gold points. So they would give you 50,000 of these things in replace for what you had done on the quest. So it really became, and that's part of the reason the prices crashed so much too, is there's so many rune essence coming in, but hardly anyone runs them anymore. So that it's the whole supply demand. It's just really lopsided. So go ahead and fill some more of these pouches. But this is what I would do. I would fill the pouches every time and run it back, but that was back when I didn't have very much essence at all. So I'll finish filling up this last pouch and then head back to the bank and just do it this one time. So I got almost 500 nature runes from this one trip because of the Wicked Hood having the extra runes inside of it. But overall experience, probably not a whole lot of experience. The advantage of Runespan is where we'll go next, is that you don't have nearly as much running, and it's a lot quicker experience compared to this. It's still pretty grindy, but it's a lot better than this. So I'll finish this up and head to Runespan in a second, but I'll probably cut out this little bit here. So I'll talk to you in just a little bit. Hey guys, welcome back. It's time to go to Runespan. So Runespan, I'll put in the notes what year it came out. It's been, I'd say, probably 3 or 4 years maybe. To get there, the fastest way for me with the Wicked Hood is just to teleport. Takes you right to the Runecrafting Guild, and at the floor that you start out in, there is 2 portals. One takes you to the lower, and then there's one over here that takes you to the higher side of the Runespan. And when you first go there, you don't have anything at all, but there's a wizard right when you come in that you can talk to, and if you've got points already, which I've got a lot, you can talk to him and get more runes. So you just say buy runes. It's going to take points from here and put them down here basically. So I guess you actually don't get points, so you lose 177 points. So that's really not a huge deal. I mean, you just need to have a little bit of floating essence to get started, and then you just siphon from different things and you get points from that. We're going to travel to the highest area, which from memory I'm thinking it's there it is, where that little symbol is. So let's see, we want to go down here. And the main thing about just going ahead and get this, it makes it a whole lot easier to travel, so you don't have to waste time trying to collect the items that are required for each little platform. So this platform will use 1 air and 1 mine to carry, and then there's certain ways that you can travel that cost versus other ways that don't, like traveling from small to big or big to small. There's different things. So, and there's the bone ladder there that takes us up to the next area. And if you're familiar with runecrafting, it's pretty easy to know what you need to do. It's basically the higher the level required to do that particular rune, the more experience you get from it. So the higher you go up, the more stuff is worth too. So now we're at uh, the highest levels, and we'll look around and see if we can find something that's got. So we've got astrals. Let's see how much they give you for experience. So we're getting 35 per siphon, and compared to the little bit of experience we got from uh, doing the rune crafting when we're running back and forth, the big advantage here is you don't have to do any running. So as soon as it dies, it will actually give you more essence from its body, and you just click on another one. And so what I did when I got 99 is I just wandered around until I found an island that had a couple high level things on it that I liked. So I think the higher ones that you can get are sorry, had a cough. There's quite a bit of different ones you can do, but the each one is worth different amount of points, and basically the blood and soul ones are the most expensive, and I'm trying to actually switch over to while I'm killing these, you can multitask pretty easily and look at a map and remember where the spot is that has like a blood Esrath and a soul one. So I think thinking it was over to the right somewhere. I'm not seeing the spot. It's been so long since I actually came here. We'll go, and they've actually changed the game a little bit too, because it used to be stuff gave you a little bit better experience and you had a little bit better experience rate, but you'll see here you don't always get the higher experience amount. You don't get every time a rune. I think back when I played it, you siphoned a rune every time. So they have cut down the amount of experience you get quite a bit, but I mean it's still, there's really no challenge at all. Let's go see if we can find, and that death one's gonna be more. I wanted to see if I can find a soul one. Oh whoops, we want to go see, it came from there, so we want to go this way actually. Sorry, having a lapse of memory here. And I think the little ones that are the stationary ones are actually worth a little bit more experience than the death ones. Like the S-Ras are worth a little bit less, but it's honestly been so long since I've done this and didn't get very lucky with that guy at all. So he's another death one. Is this a soul one? There we go. Let's see how much a soul guy is worth. He's all by himself, so you'll have to wait for him to respawn. But it's still very, very simple, very boring. Read a book, but yeah, see 100 experience each time you successfully collect from him. So obviously it certainly doesn't take a whole lot of time to get the same amount of experience I was getting before, but without nearly as much running, and they come back pretty fast too. So this is pretty much what Runespan is about. As you collect stuff, you get points for it, and you can see I've already earned more points than I spent to get that starting stuff. So it's not like I'm way out of stuff, and you saw how fast it comes back. So I basically imagine doing this for a long period of time, and that's what it is. You can run around. There's a couple little light distractions, but for the most part I found an island or a couple islands that had a lot of things that I could hop back and forth doing, and just sat there and siphoned from the same monsters over and over again, and got 99. So that was how I got my 99. Next up I will show off my little screenshot from 99, and then I will at the end show the Runecrafting cape and its emote. So I think that's enough of this. I think when we leave it will automatically convert these points. So let's head back to let's go to Taverley, because that's actually where my home is, because we'll need my Runecape to get it out of my house to look at it. So we'll be back in just a minute after the screenshot to show off the cape. So talk to you all in 1 minute. Hey guys, so this is the only screenshot I've got of my first 99. You can see on the left where the text is, you can see where it says that I got news, Dracket has achieved 99 Runecrafting, and I'm pretty much wearing the same outfit as I wore for the rest of this video. So just wanted to have at least something from. So here's the one screenshot, and now for the emotes. Hey guys, welcome back. I'm going to get my cape from my cape rack, because this is where I keep pretty much all my skill capes, because obviously I primarily just wear my ones. So let's see, they're conveniently in alphabetical order. So the Runecrafting cape, back when it first, Runespan first came out, that it wasn't a ton of people that had these, but it got really easy to get the cape. So it is pretty cool overall. It's certainly not my least favorite cape by far. It does look like I have a little bit of graphic twitch going through. And then the emote, let's see, I think I've got it still saved somewhere. There we go. It's a kind of a loud emote, but it's pretty cool. Shows you pulling up essence from the ground almost, making a few runes, but very, very loud. So there's a cape. That's it for this episode. I hope y'all didn't mind me going the retro route. It was the only cape I hadn't recorded, so I figured why not show it off. Next up was the max cape and kind of a review of all the capes. And then also I was really slow on recording these last two, or finishing up this last episode and the review of all the capes, because I'm having a hard time deciding what to do next in RuneScape. So if y'all have any suggestions, I was kind of thinking about doing like a max cape from scratch, or it's one of those type of start a new character, don't trade or anything, and make it even harder for me to get to max, and streaming probably on Twitch the entire thing, and then maybe putting highlights up on YouTube also. So let me know what y'all think about that. Hopefully there'll be some interest, because if I don't do that, I need to figure out something to do with Dracket, because just not in the mood to grind Dungeoneering to 120, and so far getting into the other cosmetic 120 capes hasn't sounded super exciting either. So I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do next. Been playing RuneScape on and off for a long time and don't want to stop playing, but just looking for I guess my next new challenge. So please give any suggestions you have of things I might work on, and thanks for watching, and I will talk to y'all later.